This button! Yay! Why is my chat thing not working? Whatever. Welcome back to the best worst show on the internet. Today I'll be your host. My name is Manuel Chavez the third or the third, depending on how you know me. And welcome back to another exciting episode of this thing that we do sometime. Yup. That thing that we do sometime, although for whatever reason, my chat thing is not. So you're going to have to just give me a quick second to figure out what's going on with that, because I don't know. I updated it and it stopped working. No longer to function. Oh, it's working now. There we go. It's working now. Page apparently. Jesus rice. It's all about that cheese and rice sometimes. I like the cheese and rice. What's going on to the folks out there in the chat anyway, now that I can actually see it on my fancy smancy little thing that fixes it all for me? What up? How's it going? Have to kill me first. And J.R. Riggs with your retracted message or whatever. Probably talking about World War III or some dumb shit. What's going on to Miguel H.? How are you doing? How you doing with Virginia Olsen? What's up to Sam Adams 73? Nice to see. Yes. And then we have Miguel H. again. And hello to the Mr. Magic Poop, one of our fantastic members out there. I can tell because he's got the green name in the chat, as you can tell. And then we got Mrs. Christina, our fantastic moderator and overly helpful friend who we like. Thank you for being here. And what's up, Piesuan 17? I still don't know if that's exactly how you're supposed to say that or whatever, but it's what it is. What it is, I guess. It is what it is, I guess. I try. Everybody tries. I mean, I try to keep it together, but we got a show for you today that's gonna cover a ranging of topics. Yes, but don't find yourself being a sheep, my friends, because that's not the way to live your life, although a lot of the rulers of the world want us all to live our lives as if we were a sheep. Ba ba ba! Just don't do that. I don't know. It's not like you guys listen to me anyways, but if you did, listen to that. Don't do that. Yeah, Pie Susan. What the fuck? I like to bake. Pie Susan 17. Okay, that makes a whole lot more sense now that I think about it. I was trying to read that as a fucking one word. Maybe you could have put a space in it. It would have been it would have made a lot more sense to me when I looked at it. But you got the 17 in your name, so she likes to bake pies. Her name is Susan, and she likes the number 17. Q-tard confirmed. Yeah. How's it going, USCDN? People are saying SBF's charges were dropped because he's Jewish. Yeah, probably. I don't know. That's part of the news that we're going to be getting into or whatever. That's the best part about this show is that I'm already going to talk about everything that you're probably going to ask about. But even if you do want to ask about it or bring it up before I do or whatever, who's really hurting who there? Just say it. Just say it. Just say it. Anyways, to start off, did you guys heard about the launch of WorldCoin? I take it. Did you hear about this launch of this coin that's going to encompass the world? The AI coin made by the AI creator founder or whatever. I don't know. Somebody made this meme. So this is people lining up for the future of cryptocurrency, where you must scan your eyeballs and give your biometric data in order to have a 100% certain view of who you are. Yep. See this right here? Look at that line, bro. Look at all them sheep. Literally. And it was all to do what? Put their eyeballs into this little silver ball that's going to basically read their thoughts and minds. Are they registering with some kind of alien technology or something like that? I don't know. But it does seem to look a lot like this. Right? When you put them side by side. farming. Who's Brian Sipe? Brian Sipe. I guess must be a baseball player or some shit. I don't know. What's going on, Nima? How you doing? Emerald Obvious. Oh, boy. So, yeah, please don't be a sheep, but I'm sure all of you are probably running to sign up for that shit anyway. Yeah, OpenAI wants to scan my eyeballs, and then we're going to use the OpenAI WorldCoin digital ID system. Yeah, sure. That doesn't sound like it was the AI's idea so that it could identify and quantize the entire populace of the United States of America and the world, only to then identify divergent people and have them excised from the community. I don't know. It feels like that's a plot to a movie that I've only seen. That feels like a movie plot. I don't know. I like to throw in movie plots and other popular culture references into these things just to, spice it up a little bit. Spicy. But whatever, dude. Whatever. So I've been hearing a lot of stuff about a creator. I've been seeing a lot of creators that are very, very pissed off and upset that this ugly girl is getting all the play. But yes, her name is Pearl Davis, I guess, or AKA @PearlyThings. Yes, Pearly Things. I don't know. She's been causing quite the stir across the universe of women because she's totally like a trad wife, but nobody can understand if she's like actually LARPing or if this is actually who she is, because she's saying some pretty outlandish things that you wouldn't, expect to be hearing from a woman in this day and age. But, she's like, nah, women shouldn't drive and a whole bunch of other shit. And I guess today she's really pissed off a bunch of people because apparently she likes 16-year-olds or whatever. So that would make her some sort of hemophile, pedophile, or whatever, if you're trying to really get it into this whole situation in a big deal way. But I'll play a little clip for you right here where she's talking about hate speech.
The wording of this song, which she deleted, to be clear, so obviously realised this had not played out maybe the way she hoped. The offence it's caused to the Jewish community. Why was it so offensive?
Why was it so offensive?
First of all, I want to thank you for having me on and for highlighting this issue. Not necessarily highlighting Pearl,
why can't we talk about the
issue
Jews?
That what you pointed out is that we're really facing a crisis of societal conscience, where someone like Pearl, who engages in hate speech, and actually the irony is she's complaining about being
hate
canceled,
speech doesn't exist.
And yet she's on your platform. She has millions of viewers on the internet and on social media, and she's complaining about being canceled. The crisis is that this is what is profitable now. This clickbait, this type of racial incitement is profitable on.
What the fuck? Wait a minute. Not only did she say some shit about 16-year-olds, she's also not a fan of the Jews? Holy shit, bro. What the fuck? Maybe I should just start saying some stupid stuff. Oh, those dang Jews. Oh, I don't like them. Oh, they have all the money. Oh, no. It's just not me. I can't do it or whatever. What's up, Gabe Hoffman? Fucking sit down, Gabe. Put the fucking phone down. Relax. I'm just playing around, okay? Jesus. I already see you getting up, fucking being like, this mother. I knew it! He was like, I knew it!
On the internet. And, I'm sitting here, I'm listening to Pearl.
What is happening right now?
I don't know if she's just plain stupid.
I don't know if she's just playing stupid.
Or she's actually quite intelligent and knows that what she's doing is so sensational that it's going to make her a lot of money. But I want to say one thing. Pearl will disappear. She will disappear, like many others before her. Hatred is taught. Nobody is born like this. There's no rational.
She will disappear. Holy fuck, dude. The Jewish mafia is going to take out Pearl Davis all over making a song? Talk about, why can't we talk about the Jews? I don't know. I didn't know that we couldn't talk about the Jews. We talk about the Jews all the time. I don't really know much about them, I've always wanted to, get like a Jewish American princess to be my wife or whatever and pay for everything for me. But that's not happening, at least, I'm pretty much going to be 40 in a few years. So it doesn't seem like that one's working out. I'm still holding out hope. But I don't know, might as well at this point in time, I'm just exploring all of the options that I have. But I mean, what the shit, bro? I wasn't even aware of this. Like, somebody sent me this link because I had mentioned something about Pearl, and I'm just like, wait a minute. The Jewish lady that gets everybody censored off of the internet for talking bad about the Jews, basically the female version of Gabe Hoffman, is now going after Pearl Davis just for making a song talking about, why can't we talk about the Jews? I mean, I don't know. I feel like you're totally allowed to talk about Jewish people, the Jewish religion, but you are not allowed to talk about, like, paying money to the Jewish people for, like, their Iron Dome. You're not allowed to talk about how the Jewish people may or may not have killed Jesus. You're definitely mostly not allowed to talk about the Holocaust in any way, shape, or form other than to confirm that it existed. It seems that, like, yeah, they just really don't. There doesn't seem to be like a normal thing. I wasn't expecting this, but canceling people
is taught.
is normal.
Nobody is
It's
bored
normal, right?
like this. There's no rational
Nobody's bored
argument
like
with
this.
someone like this. And this is a mistake that my community makes, the Jewish community, very often, that they think they can bring facts to the table, that they can debate somebody.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of
like
weird.
Pearl, and it's, you know, you're going to get somewhere. You're not going to get anywhere. You're going to get somewhere only by shedding the light on this type of bigotry to expose someone like her.
Let me
just do a crazy person that she is.
All right.
Yeah, so that was like a almost 2-minute monologue where this, I guess, Jewish lady is pissed off about Pearl and just saying we shouldn't even talk to Pearl or anything. We should just disown her because she doesn't like Jewish people and I'm Jewish. So, like, you know, that's obviously not something that I'm ever going to be a part of. But, like, it's this hate speech idea that has really started to take over this free speech movement where there's people like this lady that think that they're going to be able to stop fools from saying stupid shit, which is, you're never going to be able to do that. And if you ever tried to do that, well, the world wouldn't be the world, would it be? No, it wouldn't. And honestly, I'd like to ask this lady about Palestine and be like, hey, so do you want to talk about Palestine and how Palestine has the ability to exist and how it seems to have existed for a lot longer than whatever country that you claim to be from? And I mean, it's just kind of a weird situation. They don't want you to go into all of this stuff, but it's the reality that, you know, there are Jewish people that are committing atrocities against Palestinian people. And yes, there are Palestinians that are promoting terrorism, but it's just a nasty fucking cycle because the Jewish people keep on doing horrible things to the Palestinians and the Palestinians fight back. And then the Jewish people say, oh, look what the Palestinians did. They're just so horrible. We need to get them out of here. It's just always been a situation that I've never liked to talk about. And sure, I mean, the last thing that I'll say is I'll never forget this one time that I was working with a locksmith and he was a Jewish guy. And I'll never forget what he fucking said to me, bro. I'll never fucking forget what he said to me. And he was like talking about Israel and he was like, oh, if you ever want to go to Israel. And I was like, I mean, no, actually, I've never had the feeling to go there. I don't think that place is for me. It seems like there's a lot of stuff that I would have to understand in order to exist there without pissing anybody off, and I'd need a lot of time to figure all of that out because, I don't know the whole situation between the Palestinians and the Jewish people. I've read a lot of shit on the internet, and I'll never forget him being all like, yo, dude, he's like, those people are like dogs. And I was like, excuse me? They're human beings. They're not like dogs. Doesn't matter, like that's not something that you say, I was like, do you hear yourself? And this guy got mad at me and never liked me after that because he was just like, well, you side with the Palestinians. And I was like, no, that's not what I said. I was asking about all of the things that I've seen on TV and on the internet, all the evidence, and I was trying to get a justification for all of that for somebody that's, literally been through that themselves or whatever. And why is that there? And honestly, it's like looking at this is that there is no real hatred. There are places out there that they attribute this hatred to, like white supremacy. Oh, it's a white person. We can blame them for hate speech. They've created the ACLU and all of these other organizations to stop people from talking bad about them or even asking questions. And it's kind of like self-repeating or self-defeating cycle in a sense that, you know, they've created the problem and then they're also going to be the ones to fix it. And I just don't like it. And it's probably been one of the more open times that I've literally seen somebody that is telling them, you know, flat out, like, we're going to make you fucking disappear, right? We're going to make you disappear so nobody hears your voice. And no one should ever have that power. No people should have that power. No government, nobody, right? You should be able to say whatever the fuck you want. Doesn't matter if people don't like it. They could just change the fucking channel. They could plug their fucking ears, or they could do something about it and then get their asses whooped because they know that they couldn't actually fight back, right? It's just like this weird thing. And it's society, I think, that's really bringing us to this situation where, you know, I'm not a fan of Pearl Davis. I don't really like her fucking talking points. I think that she's a LARP. I think that she is just playing a character and being vindictive and vicious to feminism to make a buck. And it sucks that people are allowed to exist in this world and do stuff like that. But there is no such thing as hate speech, okay? I mean, just to the same time is that there is no such thing as a word that could ever fucking hurt you. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me. If words are hurting you, that means that your brain is fucking broken. Because a word can't do anything. It's just fucking sound waves coming at you from flapping fucking meat. And no human being can make a speech that's so loud and powerful like the black ball that's going to fucking obliterate you. So until that's a fucking possibility, I'm pretty sure that shit can't exist. And even then, it wouldn't be considered speech. It would be some type of shockwave attack or some shit like that, like you were a Pokemon. Okay? So, I don't know. Free speech doesn't exist. Hate speech doesn't exist. It's just controlling speech. The way that you control people is by controlling the things that you say and then criminalizing the ability to say certain things. And then outside of that, that's how people, different governments, ideologies take control. And in this sense, like this Jewish lady doesn't sound any different than a Nazi or a fucking, like, you know, Chinese Communist Party fucking official that's literally trying to take over the world. Like, it's just not the thing that I've actually want to fucking see. It's not something, you know, it's not like something that I've wanted to see. So, you know, think about it this way. It's that whenever you see this kind of thing, it should give you a pause, right? Because you should be able to talk about anything that you want and never have an individual like this ever coming to your doorstep and crying about it because you have a bigger platform than them. When that kind of thing happens, then you start to understand the reality of things is that there's going to be a group of people coming after you because they're trying to silence your voice. It's no different if that group of people was like going to come after you and create a fucking group of motherfuckers to come assassinate you. They're just doing assassinations in the new world, digitally assassinating you. Because if you're digitally assassinated in the new upcoming world where you have to have world coins and fucking Neuralinks and shit like that, you know, not having a digital identity basically means that you're dead. So just keep this. Yeah? What do they call this shit in Skyrim? They call it assassinations. Character assassination. Character assassination is the same thing as an assassination. They're just trying to kill you in a different sort of way, okay? You know, but it all goes back to the same thing. Death. Now, not to be clear, like I did say that I am not a fan of Pearl, and you'll notice that I'm not going to bring up certain people's content when discussing it because I'm not trying to give them any more credence or free press or free anything for that fucking matter, because a lot of these lower ability human beings that have no morals just aren't going to get any more playtime on this channel because of how shitty of your human beings that they are. But they will start to notice that things are not going well for them, and they'll know who it's coming from, but they just won't be able to figure out how he's doing it. And that's just because, well, us good people, we stay together and we're way better than you at everything. And the only reason we do this is because, well, we're bored. Just remember that. Remember that last time you gave us a little something. Anyways, Pearl Davis attempts to normalize the sexualization of a 16-year-old girl. What's this? Pearly H things. The 16-year-old chicks are hotter than 26-year-old chicks. And then Alex says, agreed, no or very little trauma brainwashing. I'd still wait to 18 or 20 just to be safe. Yeah. Yeah. So, what is this in reference to? I don't know. Like, it feels like she wouldn't have just came out here and said that. Because, I mean, you're not supposed to say that, right? Like, that's a hot take, I would have to assume, right? That definitely, if you were a dude making that take, they would definitely call you a pedophile, even though technically you would be like a hemophile or whatever. But you know what? Who really cares about semantics at this particular juncture now? Huh? Yeah. I don't know. What's it all about? Well, it seems to be in reference to a video from somebody named Ice Spice. I don't even know who Ice Spice is. I'm not in that hip-hop world because it's just basically devolved into garbage human beings doing garbage shit for garbage people. I mean, the music's not even that good anywhere. Like, you know, like old hip-hop, like fucking Dr. Dre, goddamn Ice Cube. You know, like, that's when the music was music. Now it's just all, like, weird-ass sounds and dumbass people that literally can't talk rapping in the shittiest way possible. And I'm supposed to be like, hey, it's music. And I'm like, yo, I have more musical ability in my fucking piggy finger, and I can rap better than you can, and I'm not even a rapper. So, I don't know. Maybe I should finally start dropping some tracks and shit. Maybe I should come back from the dead on the rap scene and then start busting the chops of every single one of these sons of bitches using parody. I mean, we could use another Weird Al Yankovic, couldn't we? You know, another Weird Al Yankovic. Get the Defango going out there. I'm pretty sure I could probably just listen to a few of these songs and write some parodies in about a week and then come out with better songs than they ever did, just like not even trying. I could probably do it in between playing Rust. You know what, though? Gonna need some blowjobs, though. Can't make music without blowjobs. That's something that I learned from my friend Howard or whatever. He was like, yeah, dog. He's like, before we jump into the studio, we got all the shit and the music being made. He's like, I usually head on down over to the massage parlor and get a good old rub and tug. Always helps. He's like, it always helps my musical ability. Yeah. So are we gonna like cancel her? Conservatives be like, water is wet, and the left is like, source. True, but at the same time, Pearl be like, 16-year-olds are hot, and then deletes it an hour later after she realizes it was a bad tweet from the start and didn't get her intended results. Right. Yeah. It's because we got 26-year-old YouTubers that got banned on TikTok with 13.4 million followers. You gotta ask yourself, is like, how did this woman Pearl Davis even get, like, I'm a fan of redheads next to every red guy, but then she's definitely like at least two numbers down from like Jen Psaki. Like if Jen Psaki was a 6, like Pearl's like a 4 or whatever, and she's 26-year-old. She's 26-year-old looking like she's 46, okay? Like she looks like she's been in the sun. She's never understood what the reasoning for using sunscreen is. And honestly, like somebody should at least like tell her about like some skin reparation cream. Like, you know, bitch, I got this shit. It's called the Palma de la Campana right here. This shit is really good for your skin, bitch. Let me tell you, you should fucking use some of it. It'll probably fucking fix whatever's going on with your fucking skin around your face. Yeah, she's got some really weird takes on things, though. You're right. So it's just like she's gotten so big to the point where she's got, you know, over 1 million followers on YouTube. She's taking pictures of herself, saying some pretty insanely stupid shit. Yet I guess that's what you have to do in order to get popular nowadays. You just have to have a bunch of really spicy takes to get yourself popular. And apparently this person actually runs a YouTube channel, which I thought was pretty insane, right? Throw it back reaction with Frito Bang. And like even researching her, this chick has gotten catfish multiple times by black guys, right? She seems to have a perfidy or affinity for the African-American persuasion. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Maybe she just likes really big dicks. I don't know. It's not for me to question. Yeah. It's not the years, it's the miles, honey. Yeah, that's right, yo. She's got 26 years on the earth, but she looks like she's got about 300,000 miles on her, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's either she's been a working car, and it's like, this chick is nuts, bro. And she got big over the last year, right? Just from having all of these crazy takes on, I don't know, society, just calling herself Pearl.
What up, guys?
And they're saying that she's one of the fastest growing YouTubers and cultural commentators. And how did that even happen? Like, how come a guy like me, I'm not considered a commentator or fucking, I don't know about culture and shit. I gotta be a fucking bitch. I gotta be a girl, apparently. I just need to get some chick to do the show and say everything that I'm saying, but be a chick. I'm sure it'll be the most popular fucking thing on the planet, right? But I guess if you call yourself the female Andrew Tate, like, well, that's going to get you somewhere. You know, you're just making all kinds of hot takes and saying a bunch of dumb shit, deleting it, and then, you know, just trying to see what sticks. I mean, really? Pearl Davis ain't no different than Jeremy from the Quartering in a lot of ways. I mean, they both just have no morals. They both don't really care about the things that they're talking about. They're just saying things to get clicks and eyeballs because for them this is a business, right? Which is probably a good way of going about it. I just personally, you know, I got these fucking morals, I can't fucking do it. But you know, it's a weird situation when somebody like Pearl Davis has gotten so far as to even get a fucking article by Christopher Burtonham himself of the Timcast website, which is the dumb fuck that allowed the Shane Cashman article to be posted with zero fact checking on anything and basically allowed them to defame me or whatever. Yeah, Chris, I haven't forgotten about your dumb fucking ass. And trust me, yours is coming here in a couple pretty soon. We'll just say that. It's coming pretty soon. You ain't gonna like it, but you what? There ain't not much you gonna be able to do about there, buddy. Just all your big fuck up. And, you know, Tim is really pissed off about those spoons, bro. Did you think that fucking blaming it on somebody else wasn't going to get you in the doghouse? Because everybody already knows it was you. So, you ready for that one there, dumb shit? Yeah. Exposed. Yeah, get that shit trademarked. Exposed. Yeah, whatever. Go Pippa Pimkin route, Griftcast IRL. Who the fuck is Pippa Pimkin? I didn't ever heard of that fucking name before. I ain't never heard that name before, dog. I don't know. What I do know is that, wow, Pearl, she's getting canceled. And you know she's getting canceled because even Timcast is talking about it, right? And I just, honestly, don't really have anything else to say about the situation. It just seems kind of fucking stupid. I don't get it. But what I do get is that, damn, dog, we got another grifter to talk about today, Mr. Dom Lucre. Looks like he got his Twitter account back, and he's been getting a lot of supports from a lot of other dipshits on Twitter, namely, mostly guys like Jeremy from the Quartering, who always seems to inject himself into every situation because he's forever trying to get popular in any way possible. I mean, you can't really knock the guy for trying, but it's looking pretty fucking desperate at this fucking point, my friend. But, you know, as we knew, guys like Jeremy and all of these other bigger creators like Carpe Donktum, they don't know how to do research at all. They get other people to do it for them. And for most part, even if they were handed the research, if they've already promoted the person, they're just going to go into damage control mode because, well, they're dumb fucks and they have no idea how to fix this stuff for themselves. So Dom Lucre seems to be getting a lot of play now. So I went ahead and did a thread on him. But for the most part, we're just rebroadcasting another guy's thread. So I made sure to include him in there since he's been in and on this guy since basically I've seen him online. And honestly, it's just kind of hilarious how these 26-year-old assholes, these young dumb fucks, really think that they're going to be able to pull one over on me. It's like Pearl Davis. She's 26 years old and she thinks she fucking smart as fuck. But you know what? She hasn't realized that she's just smarter than a little bit of dumb people. That's all you really need to be, right? That's all you really need to be. Well, it started to dawn on me that people have been exposing Dominic as the George Santos of the black community, as the George Santos of Twitter, a guy that has basically faked and counterfeited his entire existence since he was discharged from the military. And it's kind of a fucking shocking situation because when I started digging into this cat, obviously, I started looking on Twitter and other places first, and literally, it seems like almost one guy has been behind the exposure of this dude. And at this point, I'm pretty sure he was probably a client of the credit repair company that Dom runs that's never helped anyone, or at least we could not find a single person who said his company had helped them, but we did find many people that said that it was a scam, diddly scam. And it's funny because, you know, guys like Jeremy in the cornering, Jeremy didn't shout me out when I got suspended. He didn't want to help me out at all because, you know what, DeFango's a piece of shit. But you know what, he was more than happy to jump into bed with Dom Lucre, get in there, even say that he was going to donate and invest with them and have him work on his reporting system or his new ProPublica website as a journalist. Can you believe that? Like, Jeremy didn't offer me, DeFango, the Eliza Blue guy, the fucking guy that he's been stealing content from for years. He didn't offer me a job, even though I do a much better job on all of this, and I would be totally happy to let him steal all that information if I was being paid to research it. But no, I wasn't offered that particular situation. So obviously, me seeing that these shitty individuals congregate and me having to show you that these shitty individuals congregate and don't do their research and basically are dumb, it's time to show you just how dumb they are today. So Jeremy, for the quartering, this was specifically for you. And then for some of the other dumb fucks that have been poning on this guy, because it's just fucking crazy. We literally have a fake education. We have a counterfeit fucking watch that he's always talking about being real and shit. You got a fake house purchase. We have basically him being a fake GI where he claims to be a financial analyst, but for some reason only served 3 years in the military, with a very dodgy story on how he got out. He says that he was honorably discharged or hardship discharge, but we just know that he was discharged at this point. And then he's got Credit Candelabra, which is his credit repair scam company that nobody's ever been helped. He's even got his philanthropy, his fake hip-hop success, and then just a whole other thing. So just to like start it out, people have gone so deep onto this guy that they actually verified his enrollment at University of Pennsylvania, or Penn State, as it were. And interestingly enough, he claims to have a bachelor's degree from Penn State, but when Penn State was inquired about that, we can clearly see that he most certainly does not have a degree from Penn State in any way, shape, or form. Not from 2017, not in 2022, no degree whatsoever. And yes, we did make sure to look up Dominic Andrew McGee, his full name. Not sure why he goes by Dom Lucre. I guess it was his rap name, and he just decided to come up over at it. And he got really pissed off, too, because he was like, "You're trying to discredit me over this stuff, guy? Who the fuck do you think you are? What do you think you are?" But yeah. It's a real thing. It's a real thing that's fucking happening. So, you know, like I did a thread actually. So it's like just to put it out there, the reason that Dom actually got suspended on Twitter in the first place was because he actually posted an image from a CSAM case out of the Philippines from a man who was arrested in Australia. He posted a picture of a screenshot of one of those videos, and that's why his account was suspended, because he violated the child sexual exploitation policy over on Twitter. Even though there wasn't actually anything involved, he posted an image that was taken from one of the videos, which is still considered to be that particular thing because it's from the fucking video, right? So, as it were, he was still blaming the Democrats, right? It's the Democrats that are saying that he shared CP. And no, actually, technically, that's not who it was. It was actually Twitter that said that. That's why you got taken down for it. People just reported that you had posted it. That's all. They just reported it that you posted it, okay? Even more so, you can see here, he's actually linking to the photograph that even talks about the live stream. Yes, 10K a view live web stream and the dark web. It's annoying that liberals are calling me a fucking pedophile when they are letting children get abused. You shoot the messenger. Who the fuck is going to send the message to save the kids? Oh, wow, Dom. You're becoming a fighter for the children? You seriously are the next Eliza Blue, Dom. This is fucking crazy. You're fighting for the kids now? You're fighting the Democrats? You're fighting the deep state? Whoa, buddy. Fucking sit the fuck down, bro. You're the one that posted that shit. You didn't even think about it before you posted it. You posted it, you got suspended. But don't worry. At least you got friends in high places, because it looks like Elon Musk allowed you to come back, did he not? Yeah. And Elon Musk actually commented on it, because guys like Dom can get dudes like Elon Musk to help them out, even though they're absolute fucking shitbags. But a guy like me who's not, well, I don't even know. Yeah. So look at all of this stuff. What's this right here? What are you guys talking about? Uni Rock. That's weird. Weird. All right, yeah, but it says the reason for the suspension should be shown, along with the ability to quickly appeal easy. There are many layers of software, 20 million lines of code, that this is much harder than it should be. I am told this account was suspended for posting child exploitation pictures associated with the criminal conviction of an Australian man in the Philippines. So yeah, even Elon Musk was 100% directly associated to what exactly happened. And guess what? Yeah, he did it. He willingly did it. And for a guy like him, so apparently for Elon Musk, if you say something that's considered to be a skosh violent, right, you get suspended off of the platform indefinitely forever. But if you're like Dom Lucre and you post illegal CSAM materials to a social media platform, you can get your account back. That's totally fine. You know, you're bad that first time. You're bad that first time. So, as you've seen it, now you know that this situation is a lot more, I guess, deep than first meets the eye. And I mean, it got even crazier because I found this William Coffin thread where he literally has thread after thread after thread after thread after thread that he has created to put it out there. So since he seems to already be getting limited on his account, and I can see it for at least a couple of reasons, right? Like his followers have gone up at least 100 since this morning, since I made my thread. So I'm basically driving people to him. The only thing that I wanted to tell him is that he needs to stop following people because he's following way too many people to that. But he's got a whole entire thing where he's gone over every single little thing that this dude has lied about. And I mean, it's fucking hilarious, bro. It is just like unbelievable. Like when you go to the dude's LinkedIn, you can see him talking about his credit scam company. Apparently, somehow he was a financial management analyst for the U.S. Army full time for only 3 years and 3 months, which is pretty crazy. I mean, I know that you could technically get that MOS, could you not? But if he got out of high school and then went directly into the military right out of high school, that would have meant that he was probably actually only doing his MOS for like maybe a year and a half tops, right? Like, because he would have been in basic, and then he would have had to go through all of his school and stuff, and then it just doesn't make sense because people have asked him about what his MOS number is, and he doesn't seem to be able to actually tell us what his MOS is. We can verify that. I guess he was in the U.S. Army. We have pictures and stuff, but for all of the photographs that he has, there's no indication that he doesn't have any of that stuff. So you'll notice that I tried to be funny about it. According to the haters, like coughing it up, who hate his map dope swag, he over here hating on fools because he retired from the U.S. Army after 3 years to take care of his family. The term stolen valor is thrown around, and there are some errors in the MOS, right? He's a veteran, dude. But, we have pictures of him being a veteran, holding a rifle that he has posted himself. We got pictures of him being here in his uniform, right? Although looking at all of the individuals there and the press up that they got going on, I mean, there's a strong possibility here that yes, he actually did get into the military, but was he a financial analyst? I don't think so. I mean, he's also claimed to be an airman in the Army, but he never had any wings on any of the photographs that he's shared, right? And it says he entered a 4-year contract out of high school in July of 2013. He was at Fort Sill for basic, Fort Bragg, and then a 68J medical logistics specialist. And he was apparently an E4 with a security clearance, but he is super vague on any of his actual units or battalions or names or anything, which is kind of funny because if you think about it, a 68J medical logistics specialist is not the same thing as somebody that's actually working in the financial aspect of things. So, if you go to the U.S. Army or the National Guard, you'll notice that when I pulled that up, it did not bring me to the United States Army. It brought me to the National Guard. I think that this might be an indication of something because medical logistics specialists' primary duties for the National Army Guard are providing medical supplies, which in fact has nothing to do with him or him doing anything, I guess, what would you have to say? In financial offices? Like, I mean, it's just kind of like, dude, linked. It just doesn't make a whole lot of fucking sense, bro. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but everybody likes this guy, he's a veteran, dude. You're attacking a veteran, DeFango. You're a piece of shit. I'm getting some fucking Unirock vibes coming off of this guy, because remember Unirock was like, I'm a veteran. I'm a combat veteran. Even though he couldn't actually provide any evidence that he was in any combat whatsoever. So, yeah, if you look at this, right, like this is Dominic's actual thing. It says financial management analyst. So, wait a minute. That would be a different thing. MOS, right? Cool. DOD mill final management duties include maintenance, monitoring, reconciliation of official records, financial management technician, financial management technician. See, that's kind of weird, right? Because, like, if he was in the Army, he could have been a financial management technician, which would have been a 36B MOS. But he has actually physically claimed to be a 68L MOS, which is actually a United States National Guard MOS, and not, I believe, a United States Army MOS. Although I do believe that you can be a medical logistics specialist in the United States Army. Can you not? I'm pretty sure, though. You could be. Right? You can be? Can you be? Because, I don't know. Seems like you might be able to be. Think about that. So, either way, it's kind of a weird thing, for him to talk about what MOS he was. And there's the question is that, was he in the United States Army or was he a reservist because it would make a whole lot more sense he was a reservist, because then he would have been able to get that honorable discharge or hardship discharge or dishonorable discharge, whatever he got. So think about it. Think about it. Think about it. There's definitely some nice info to have. Those are the fuckers who used to fuck up our pay. Oh yeah, that's exactly who they are. So he would have been part of that. So just like to put it out there, like either way, he's talking about being at Fort Bragg as a medical logistics specialist, right? But when he left, he was allegedly a completely different MOS, and he still lists a completely different MOS on his LinkedIn profile. And this is, as of today, for Mr. Dominic McGee, featured on the New York Times, so on and so forth. So you can see that I'm not making this up. You know, this is just literally coming directly from his information. And then even more so, we can see his education here shows a few different things. North Augusta High School, he graduated in 2013, didn't get into Penn State until 2017, and he was only there for 3 years, and he didn't actually get a degree. It says that he was working on his bachelor's degree in computer software engineering, but his grade was senior. But according to his actual history with Penn State, he didn't even attend class but a quarter of the time, number one, and had a GPA of 1.98. So there's literally no fucking way he would have been able to be at the Penn Wharton School without actually getting his fucking bachelor's in the first place. So it's like two things here in his very beginning of his story aren't seemingly adding up. Like, so he got out of high school, went into the United States Army as a medical tech, somehow managed to get into a completely different MOS, and then got himself early discharged to take care of his half-brother. And then later on, he went to Penn State, claims to everybody that he has a bachelor's degree, and then got into the Wharton School with the certificate, but can't show any proof of it. And then when we actually question Penn State about his history, it shows that he's never gotten a degree from that place and hasn't even finished classes and is actually still apparently doing classes. And that GPA, though, 1.98, that's just kind of a problem if you ask me. So it's just like, I don't get it, man, like how people are in here. And we actually found a time that he went on to somebody's channel. And if you look at it right here, it was his first ever podcast appearance on January 16th of 2023. And if you don't remember, I was calling out Dom Lucre back then because when I was looking into Eliza Blue, Ian Miles Chong, and a couple of other people, he was one of the folks on the list, right? And it's because he literally just came up. He hasn't been around for very long. And throughout this interview, he basically kind of just makes no sense about being who he is. So he talks about his financial firm and how he's bought a lot of businesses and has done meaningful philanthropy, how he served in the Army, became a VP of a record company, graduated and got his fucking degree. And essentially, it's all fucking fake. But I recommend that you go over to Michelle Toifoya's, and if you're interested in this particular situation, you could hear that he's going to tell you all about his life and how he grew up liberal and give you a real interesting story about how he went to school and why you should trust him. But essentially, it's just one grifter helping another grifter get somewhere, which is just kind of funny. Honestly, like, I can't believe this shit. Like, here's some reporting from just last year, April 30th of 2022. After some time, Dom decided that it was time for him to say the final goodbye to the military and shift his focus entirely towards producing hip-hop music. But life had something else in store for him. After resigning from the U.S. military, he resigned from the U.S. military, Dom decided to opt for higher education and enrolled in an online diploma in corporate finance in January of 2017. After his diploma, a revolutionary idea popped up in his mind, and it was to create a financial counseling and credit restoration company. Hence, Credit Candelabra was founded in October of 2017. Really? So Dom is so badass that somehow he got into online college in January of 2017 and got his diploma in less than a year? I mean, October, that's only like 10 months, Bog. 9 months, this dude cleared his entire fucking school history, and then like a fucking magic angel just dropped the idea for Credit Cadabra into his brain, and then he started doing that. Yeah, okay, I believe it. Here's another one. He also became the vice president of Ivos Records, which was a significant achievement. Soon after that, Dom was discharged from the U.S. military in 2016. Discharged. Notice I didn't mention honorably discharged because he'd get in trouble if he did that. And decided to focus on his hip-hop music career solely. He moved to Atlanta, Georgia for that purpose because he was the vice president of Ivos Records and started gaining traction on social media. So if you notice, both of the websites that are doing these interviews with him seem to be super scammy. We got Richard Brown from the American Reporter, and then we got Urwal Sharma from Fox Interviewer, which just look like purchased fucking fake-ass articles that he SEO'd for himself and forgot to actually give them the right information about what he was actually doing in the first place. But who knows? Here's his IMDb. Dom was honorably discharged from the U.S. Army August of 2016 and moved to Atlanta, Georgia in December of 2016 to be closer to his career options. Dom gained thousands of followers on social media, spending time pursuing success with hip-hop, blah, 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 blah. Oh, and then it says, again, January, Penn State University, and then it says to pursue his college degree online while he worked on Ivos Records. Dom also obtained a brief education at Wharton University, earning a certification in corporate finance. So somehow he got into the Wharton School of Business without a degree and got a certificate from them for something, even though all of his actual Penn State school records do not support that whatsoever, and his fucking 1.8 or 98 GPA basically show that he would have never been able to do that even if he tried, right? Like, that's not a passing GPA at all. So whatever, dude. Whatever. And it's from his own website. In 2015, Lucre left ML3 and became vice president of Ivos recording label, somehow while he was still working for the United States military full-time. Kind of makes the whole thing that he wasn't actually in the army and he was a reservist a big clear thing, because he would have only been able to be one of those MOSs that he claims to be, and it would have been the MedTech, because that's the only one that pops up, I believe, in both. Think about that. And he also claims that by the age of 20 and creating Ivos, he had success working with icons such as Birdman, Fetty Wap, Big Sean, Kanye West, Rick Rubin, Bruno Mars, and everything. Wow. I mean, wow. 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 All those big names at the age of 22, dude. I'm jealous over here. I'm hating. I'm a hater. It's not like I've actually met all those people or anything like that and built studios for them or anything, but you know what? Who's bragging about who knows who? Not me, that's for damn sure. Yes, the breaker of narratives. Fun fact, I had an amazing 4-year contract with a security clearance from the Army in 2013, but I separated honorably early 3 months before Donald J. Trump won the 2016 election. Yeah, is that your like little reservist thing over here? Is a fun fact? Little fun fact for everybody. He even changed the story. I was honorably discharged from the Army 1 year early to help my brother who unexpectedly reached paralysis. He was sent to a nursing home while I was serving, and they had him sleeping in his own feces. Once I was released, I spent every day trying to save them. Unfortunately, I did not. Yes. Now, notice how we went from honorably discharged to hardship discharged, And he was talking about taking care of his brother, but it turns out that the guy was only his half brother. His name was Dennis. And no mention of the other 8 brothers and sisters that Dom actually has, if you didn't know. So, like, we couldn't find anything, like, on his Instagram either. Like, when you go through his Instagram page, you literally can't find shit. And just to point it out there, based on what he was saying, the nursing home where Dennis passed away was in Augusta, Georgia, which is a literal 3 hour and 30 minute to 4 hour. It's literally a 3 to 4 hour drive to get there from Atlanta, where he allegedly purchased his first home with cash or whatever. See where I'm going with this? Damn, son, that's some fucking dedication, dog. You drove 4 hours a day just to save your boy? Wow. I'm sure your Instagram is definitely going to confirm that for us, isn't it? It's going to show you in the car a lot, driving around. I ain't going to be seeing you with bottles and shit fucking acting a fool, right? 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 He could have only gotten a hardship discharge if he was the only relative capable of doing so, and he had to be listed as a dependent, says Scroach McGoats. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have been able to do that. Yeah. But here we go. Photos from Dom Lucre's Instagram account from around the time that Dennis, the person that he was allegedly hardship discharged for, and well, Joe, look at that. Here's photographs of Dom in Atlanta, Georgia, with a bunch of bottles, wearing a custom robe that's inscribed with his rap name on it, with a much different haircut. Nope. No mention about anybody dying there. That's just days before. The future of hip-hop's here. Stop looking at the past. Look forward. If I stop looking at the past, that guy died on February 17th of 2017, Dom, and you didn't even make a picture or post about him or anything. You just literally went from one day to the next day, didn't even mention it. And, I mean, your entire channel doesn't actually show anything about that. Here's the day after that. There's just you holding a big bottle of Grey Goose. So it's almost like you didn't even care. 2 days before that dude died, allegedly, or that dude died, according to his obituary, it shows you not there, hanging out with him or taking care of him. It seems like you were out and about doing, well, some other shit. Don't you just love it when we get this deep into this stuff to try to get people's attention on these things? And then this is the kind of stuff that you're just never going to get from creators like Jeremy from The Quartering, because he simply does not have the ability to be this thorough, because he's not a smart man. He's just an asshole who steals money from creators and is basically the loser. But he thinks he's the best. But, like, he's not. He ain't. And trust me, I had to go through his Instagram account, like, for a long ass time to even get to that shit. So, praise me, my fellows. Because it was a lot of work. I had to look at a lot of dipshit photographs. Here's No Face, though, on Twitter saying, "Liar, here's the months and weeks leading up to your half-brother's death, partying in clubs and traveling, but the Army gave you allegedly a dependency discharge for your half-brother, with 3 living parents already in a full-time care facility with 7 other siblings and no prior local parentis." Yes. Yeah. So basically, he might have been in the Army, but he definitely got discharged. I'm going to have to tell you that there's no evidence that it was honorable, but there's also no evidence that it was dishonorable. But it makes more sense that it would have been a dishonorable discharge based on his social media postings on alone. Don't know, though. One thing leads to another thing, and I think it's actually kind of hilarious to think about it, that people cape upon the same thing. And this is what they were saying about him. They were saying, "What a coward, lowlife." Nazis have entered the chat. That's what Dom's supporters were basically saying. But, you know, somebody actually went to the Instagram and recorded it all the way back then. And yes, the entire month before and after, not a single mention of anybody dying, not a single picture of him being in the military. It was just him running his, rap business, I guess. Wow. Think about that shit. Look at him. He really looks like he was doing a lot of good stuff for people back then, doesn't he? Yeah. Ivos forever, baby. Ivos forever. And then this is how this guy came back. You are such a dumb fuck. Seriously, bro. This is beyond politics. You are an idiot. Your dates are off. He died in February. What you see online is not freaking real, especially when someone's fucking brother died. Pussy. Pussy. Wow, man. That's all you. That was your big bring back. Wait, what is this? I'm confused, bro. Or did you not buy a house in Atlanta? Did you ride your hoverboard to Augusta, a 6-hour round trip drive every day to take care of your paralyzed brother and have time to crush the hip hop seed? Or are you lying again? Oh, by the way, he did claim that he actually bought that house. Here's his Instagram post. I'm only 22 and I bought my first house. Now that's a major key. Hashtag Ed Willie. 2 stories because my book is a lot more than 1 page. Interesting. But then you go to Zillow and you look at the Pebble Creek address that allegedly that he had purchased or whatever, and you can see that on 12/20 of 2016, the listing was removed by Renter's Warehouse and it was sold to somebody that definitely wasn't him. Yeah, he kind of does look like Rick James's illegitimate son. But yeah, there it is right there. You can see that. Yeah, Dom never bought a house. He lied about renting somebody else's house or whatever, but it's all part of his, LARP, I guess. It's all part of him, making himself up to look way better in a lot of ways. And it's just kind of funny, dude, because this is the guy that Jeremy wants to promote over a dude like me who actually does good work. Jeremy offered this guy a job for his website to write stories for him, and literally he would get fucked over by this guy in the exact same way as Ian Miles Chong fucked him over all them years ago. Like, probably exactly. And what am I, chopped liver? I guess I'm fucking chopped liver, so you know what? That's why we do these fucking things, isn't it? Getting suspended. His suspension was a weird thing, but, it's just funny, dude. Missing Dominic Lucre McGee, male, 29 years old, 5'6", dwarf clown journalist, sometimes gray, sometimes black, 0 degrees from Penn State or Wharton University, wearing counterfeit Patek Philippe cloud watch, characteristics, pathological liars, answers to Putin, tall and brilliant motherfucker, last seen lying and grifting on Twitter. Yeah, so now just kind of putting that all together doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But hey, man, he was the Blexit Straight Director for Chattanooga, Tennessee. That's good. That's good, right? That's good, right? Huh. Education. Penn State Finance Bachelor's, Wharton School of University of Pennsylvania, Corporate Finance Certificate, Class of 2022, Class of 2019. Huh. How did you graduate Penn State with the bachelor's, and then how did you manage to get a certificate from the Wharton School in 2019 when you were still doing your bachelor's and you needed your bachelor's in order to get the certificate in the first place? Yeah. Dom enrolled in Pennsylvania State University to pursue a college degree online, where he worked at Ivos Records and obtained a brief education at Wharton School University of Pennsylvania, earning a certification in corporate finance. And then he studied corporate finance at the Pennsylvania University. Did he? I thought that's weird. Because it says right here, computer software engineering and computer architecture. So, like, Which one is it? This is just like the MOS, you know. The MOS was a medical MOS that he says, but then he claims that he had a finance MOS, which was a different one. And then when we go again to his LinkedIn, on his LinkedIn, it says that he was in computer architecture, computer software engineering, yet we're looking at other articles that were literally listed and posted by him on Everybody Wiki that say that he was in corporate finance, and I guess that supports his credit his credit cadabra scam, as it were. If you didn't know, now you kind of know. Kind of a crazy mess, isn't it? Yeah, it's a crazy mess. Somehow he got an online degree, did all this other stuff. Doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense, does it? Now when you look at it this way. So, yeah, maybe he just made a mistake, you guys. Maybe he made a mistake, right? What's this? July 28th, 2017. Much love to everyone who supports the society. Graduated college, Maine. Beat the odds. What? He beat the odds? He graduated college July 28th of 2017? There's nothing that supports that. The only college that he ever claims and we can figure out that he went to says that he most definitely never graduated from their college. Hell, he barely showed up. And when he did show up, he did some of the worst work imaginable. So why do you think he would have gotten into credit repair in the first place? I don't know. Probably because he's got massive student loans that he hasn't paid off. And he was trying to scam in order to get paid off. I don't know. It kind of seems to be like what we're looking at. What is it this? Enrolled less than half time. Less than half time, 3/4 time, half time. Yeah. And that's part of his enrollment history from the very, very first. And I mean, they said that he was supposedly had a degree in 2022. And guess what? Yeah, no degree. None. There was no degree. But this is how he came at him. Oh, that Cap tried to discredit me. You boys are so miserable. You keep me entertained daily. Penn State, I addressed that about 8 spaces. I have to finish an internship and have every credit and more. What the fuck? I look like I'm doing an internship. It's getting waived. I never had a nonprofit. Everything I do is out of my own pocket. I know that's hard for losers like you to comprehend because you only think about what people can do for you. Credit cadabras of success can be verified by looking up the visitor history on an SEO tracker. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I don't think any of that matters there, Dom, because you have to do an internship to get your degree now. I thought you already had your degree. You said you passed the degree. You can't say that you passed the degree until you have it like in your fucking hand. Dumb shit. So yeah, I know you have to do an internship. He's not gonna do one. Yeah, they're gonna waive it just for me. Like fucking ridiculous, dude. This guy's fucking ridiculous, dude. He is literally one of the worst human beings that I've ever come across on the internet. That's just such a fucking grifted ass liar that I don't understand half the time. Right. And then even Mr. Coughing it up. Look at this. Dom has attended online college for Penn State off and on since 2017. He was kicked out early and somehow got reinstated. Don't know why he can't seem to graduate after 6.5 years. His high school GPA per Dom was 1.98. So, And then the Wharton certificate, various bios, he claims he obtained that certificate from Wharton University in 2019 or 2020. Sometimes he claims it's corporate finance. Other times he claims it's for computer architecture. Wharton does offer a short 1-week executive education course that anyone can attend as long as they pay. They're usually paid by large corporations, as the fees for 1-week courses would be about $10,000. And it would be for a preventative situation and not much value for your average unemployed undergrad. So, yeah, he could have gotten some sort of certificate if he would have applied for a job with another company and it was required for him to go to this education course. But outside of that, there's no proof that he even paid for that shit either, to be perfectly frank and honest. So, like, if you don't even think about the Wharton school certificate, it just kind of makes you wonder if this guy could have actually done any of this stuff. Like, did he go to Harvard? Did he go to Wharton? You know, any of this stuff could be retracted by any of us if he simply just offers up some pretty good information. And I made sure to point out that if Coughin' It Up did all this research already, why am I still seeing the likes of people like Carpe Donktum in the Quarterly dropping everything to back up? I guess fake sees bake and fake and boost it up. Clearly, they couldn't Google their way out of a paper towel at Dom Lucre. So, you know, I've made sure to directly associate this to them so that people can see it. But our account is not verified, and our account is basically shadow banned into oblivion, isn't it? Well, that's maybe not exactly true because we could go look at the analytics for the account. So, you know, everybody knows I haven't posted anything on this thing. And here's our 28-day summary. We have 39.3K impressions, which is literally 23,000% higher than it was the last 28 days. Profile visits are up 1,412%. Our mentions are now up 10,500%, and our followers are now up 46, which is really nice, right? Yeah, it's real nice. Yeah, real nice, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So I guess we're getting a little bit of reach, but it seems like we're limited. I used to be up at like 4.9 million tweet impressions with a lot more profile visits and stuff, but I just started using the account again, so you know we'll have to see. So wait, what else do we have? The fake watch. Hey man, here's my new investment. A totally knockoff cubic zirconia edition of a rather expensive watch. Sick. Real watch, fake watch. Real watch, fake watch. Real watch, fake watch. What's this? Chapter 10, Affluence Grifting. Claim you invested $150,000 in a watch. Tell people with the counterfeit version of a watch that the crown sticks out far as much and does not have the same rounding as the original. Oh yeah, that's right. The knockoff. And then Dom's got a counterfeit $250 version of it. Yo, guys, check out my investment. I spent $150,000 on this watch, dog. It's got the cubic zirconias and shit on it, dog. What's that? How about your counterfeit watch, Dom? Swear your mother's grave for that. Your pen diploma, your fake charity. Let's have some new age truth grifter. You didn't you didn't see me legit test my watch? Others have claims have been addressed. I'm sorry that you're behind the curve. I know people read slow. And he's like, can you explain the counterfeit report or finish Sisu how you legit tested your watch? An actual legit test would be paying about $150,000 or more than you paid for that, and having a certificate of authenticity / appraisal, you know, the stuff that people would own if they actually purchased the real version of the watch. Like, it'd be super easy for Dom to like shut down everybody talking shit about his watch by him just saying, well, here's the certificate of authenticity for my watch. There's the serial number. Here's my serial number. See how they match? It's not a fake watch. And then we'd be like, oh, wait, you're right. You know what? It's not a fake watch. But no, he can't fucking do that because he bought a fucking fake watch and he ain't got that shit. And he ain't definitely not going to be paying to get that shit. And you know how I know he's not going to be paying to get that shit? Because recently, very recently, a loan shows up for him out of First Heritage Credit Union of Tennessee, LLC, for one Apple MacBook Pro computer. And the filing date was 3/15/2023. That was filed with the Secretary of State. And it doesn't expire. The loan doesn't expire for 5 years. So it looks like Dom took out a loan to get a MacBook from someone, but then again, it's more like rent. Actually, rent a center. To me, it sounds more like this. Like he went to Rent a Center. I don't know if they actually have MacBooks at Rent a Center. Wow, they do. They do. Oh yeah, I could get a refurbished MacBook Pro M1 and I could pay monthly on it and it's only going to cost me like $3,000 fucking dollars. So yeah. So Dominic McGee with his Reddit Center laptop and all that other shit. You know, it's like, this guy's an excellent grifter. He's gotten very successful. He's just like all the other grifters out there. You know, Jeremy doesn't get caught up for this shit though, because like most people don't have enough on him to put it out there. But let me tell you that he's going to be real pissed when everybody finds out about who he really is. And they ain't going to fucking like it. And just to point out that it is definitely illegal to purchase counterfeit goods because it supports criminal activities. And, you know, that didn't seem to be a problem for Dom. Not only did Dom buy a counterfeit watch, he regularly proclaims that that counterfeit watch is real, even though he cannot provide any evidence of authenticity. Fake watches, fake philanthropy, fake service, fake fucking education. I mean, it's just ridiculous, dude. Chapter 7, create tiny straw men and throw toddler temper tantrums. Dom likes to take tiny drops in the ocean of lies and throw temper tantrums about the drops rather than address the ocean. It's an effective way of lying to dummies. These motherfuckers criticize what I wear. That is sick. No, Dom. Your one big affluence lie, the false claims of philanthropy and wealth that you invested a $150,000 watch and then continue to lie about its authenticity. It's an obvious counterfeit and it's legal. These motherfuckers say I didn't go to Penn State. I did go to Penn State. I'm an alumni of Penn State. No one can take away my education from me. No, Dom, your lies are that you graduated from and are an alumni of Penn State, first claimed in 2017, and that you have a certificate from the Wharton University. You even claim two entirely different majors for both programs, corporate finance and computer architecture. These are all, of course, ridiculous lies, and you fucking know that. Yeah, fucking know that. So, kind of gives you a really good understanding of this guy, right? Pathological liar that's online grifting money off of people. Isn't it just amazing? Dom claims he was honorably discharged early from the army to take care of his paralyzed brother who's in Augusta nursing home 3 hours away from him in Atlanta, where he bought his first house. Dom didn't buy a home. He could not have cared for his brother. He lies for everything. And the property records for 3045 Pebble Creek Lane show that Mitchell Zayu Shen purchased and acquired the home in 2013, and the home was then again on June 21st, 2019, acquired by Shay Marie Krauser from Mitchell Zeru Chen for $199,000. So during the time that Dom says that he purchased his first home, it's very, very clear with the property record listings that he never purchased that home. He's also lying about that, and that he was renting that home from Mitchell Zhayu Shen, who is obviously one of those Chinese landlords. And yeah, if you look at that, the home was never owned by Dominic McGee or any LLC owned by Dominic McGee. Little Dummy rented the home on December 20th, 2016, and it was owned continuously by Mitchell Zhayu Shen for the entire time. The entire time. But yeah, he gets all the credit, dude. So we look at this one right here. It says Dom Lucre, activist, philanthropist, entrepreneur with a net worth of $1.2 million. Yeah, I don't know. Someone's telling me that this fool ain't got $1.2 million for some reason. What's this? At 28, I've been a college graduate, high school graduate, college graduate, scammer, drug dealer, flocker, veteran, Freemason, homeowner, VP of a clothing line, VP of a hip-hop label, founder of a clothing line, founder of Credit Calabra, founder of Win the Wid, SEO executive, blogger, investor, influencer, activist, Christian, Jewish, IFA student. Not everything that was struck down or thrown stuck. I learned a lot and left a lot. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, really? So I think that gives us pretty much the entirety of this and this little fucking nugget, this little butt nugget, because that's what it is. It's a butt nugget. This dude's a butt nugget. He's probably one of the worst people online, and you know what? He's getting all the fucking play. And I mean, this stuff has been out there in the wild for a while now, but Corruption Duck, aka that turn it up person or coughing it up person that's been out there posting all of this stuff, literally has been on this thing since the very, very beginning. And I went through and verified all of that shit. And yeah, he just decided that people just decided that they don't really care about that. That should tell you a lot about their character or lack thereof of it. So now you know at least a little bit more about Lion Dominic McGee, a.k.a. Dom Lucre, the guy that basically is Eliza Blue 2.0, 3.0 or whatever, the black male version of Eliza Blue. How fantastic is that? How fantastic is that? How fantastic. It's very fantastic in my opinion. It's just funny to me, dude. Like, they just allow them to do all of that stuff, and honestly, I think it's hilarious. So let's move into the next space or whatever. Uh-oh. What's this? Trump is being accused of asking a staffer to delete camera footage in the Florida classified documents case. Oh no. Oh no. So yeah, they're still going after Donald Trump apparently. I mean, I haven't really been following along with this stuff since the last time, but allegedly there's apparently something that they're going after him for. There's 3 new charges that they seem to be putting on him. It's obviously clearly because there's a lot more bad shit that seems to be happening in their particular situation. But here, let's see. Trump charges. Yes, it was this one right here. Like at a Politico and a couple other places, they were saying that Trump has been charged with new crimes in the classified documents case. So, I mean, I can't keep it together. There's so many different fucking cases that are stupid, but one of the more stupid cases from when they were talking about the classified documents that he declassified because he was the president and they're trying to railroad him on. Well, they've charged him with 3 more counts of something in that particular case. And remember, that's the case that they brought against him just when they started finding all of the classified information and all of the Biden locations, like his house, his Penn State office. Hey, wait a minute. Biden had an office at Penn State, huh? Didn't Dom Lucre go to online college at Penn State? And didn't he say he was a liberal? Kind of seems like we might need to dig into that one a little bit closer. But yes, apparently Trump is accused and being charged of seeking to erase security camera footage at Mar-a-Lago. And this is coming back from special counsel Jack Smith's new 3 felony charges against Trump. So, you know, like, they keep bringing more and more bogus charges against Trump because they really don't want him to run for the election. And I mean, it's got to show you that the Biden administration and the Democrats are definitely fucking freaking the fuck out because they know that it's going to be really difficult for them to beat him in a general election without doing any funny shit. So like right now, their main plan is to basically have this guy be in jail so he can't actually, you know, become the president. But who knows if it's actually going to be there. All we know is that in a 60-page superseding indictment unveiled today, the prosecutors accused Trump of possessing highly classified war plans that he shared with people lacking security clearances months after his presidency had ended. But that, in its face value, is completely false because Trump declassified all of that information that he took with him prior to leaving the White House, so he could have shown it to anybody that he wanted to show it to. It's just that right now, for whatever reason, the DOJ and the special counsel are trying to act like he doesn't have the ability to declassify stuff, or they had to go through some process that they just created in their brains to make it happen. So it's not going to go very far, but it's literally the only thing that they have right now because they are fucking worried, to be perfectly honest. They're just fucking worried. They don't know if this is going to work, but they're goddamn well hoping, because literally, if they can get them on something, they think that it's going to give them the ability to win, because apparently they think that they can't take on Trump, but they think they could take on that Vivek Ramaswamy or any of the other candidates much easier. And it just doesn't seem to be the real case. So I don't know, honestly, Trump still got my vote at this particular juncture, because there's literally no one else. Like, don't even come at me with that DeSantis bullshit. I'll fucking laugh in your face, dog. I'll laugh right in your face. Right in your fucking face, right? Yes, Rand Paul warns Republicans against falling into the impeachment trap. Oh, no. Wait, impeachment? Oh, that's right, because they're trying to impeach Joe Biden. They've been trying to impeach Joe Biden, and now one of the Republicans named Rand Paul is saying that we shouldn't fall into this impeachment trap. It's not good for the Republicans to keep impeaching presidents and indicting presidents. And, I'm not exactly sure what the fuck Rand Paul is smoking, but Republicans have only, impeached, maybe one or two dudes, right? Isn't it the Democrats that have been impeaching on the impeaching spree lately? Didn't they try to impeach Trump not once, but twice? They failed to, do it, but they tried, right? They tried twice. So, I mean, if it was okay for the Democrats to try and impeach Trump over some bullshit, wouldn't it be okay to impeach Joe Biden over some extreme bullshit that he's pulled? Yeah, I think it would be okay. I mean, logically speaking, all's fair in love and war, but some people consider it to be destructive, but sometimes destruction is what needed. And you know what? Joe Biden has destroyed this country totally and completely. The only thing that's going to bring it back is getting that fucking dumbass out of the presidency and putting in somebody that's actually going to be, I don't know, worth the shit, but it's definitely not going to be a Democrat. That's for fucking sure. They're all fucking garbage people. So who knows what's happening in this particular situation? They just don't want to look like the bad guys, and they won't. If they impeach Biden, they'll look like the good guys forever, right? Forever. Oh, did you guys hear that a crane collapsed in New York City? Yeah, that sucks. Who gives a shit about that? Whatever. What's this? Changing Meta's algorithm did not help U.S. political polarization. Oh, fuck. Imagine that. Yeah, it's because algorithms don't create political polarization. People do, you dumb fucks. All the algorithms do is limit the viewership on where that could go, but it's only going to, in turn, rapidly increase the viewership because more people are going to be saying the same thing in order for it to be seen. So it's kind of hilarious. But yes, the powerful algorithms used by Facebook and Instagram have been blamed for amplifying misinformation and political polarization, but a series of groundbreaking studies published on Thursday suggested addressing this challenge will require more than just tweaking the software and the platforms. You're going to have to change the people first because, they're the ones that are making it happen in the fucking first place. Yeah. I don't know, though. What do you really think? Same thing's happening over at Twitter, except for more people are getting suspended and censored. Only the good ones get to come back, though, apparently. Whatever. Probably in the most shocking bit of news this week, the United States Justice Department has just dropped campaign finance charges against crypto scammer Sam Bankman-Fried. Get close with the Washington Uniparty and they will protect you every single time. Shortly after the collapse of XCS last December, Frank Bankman-Fried was charged with campaign finance violations as well as frauds. And now he's getting away with it because our justice system is a fraud.
Yep.
There he is.
Okay, now here it is.
There he is.
Are you changing your plea?
Abruptly.
Mr. Bankman-Fried,
Why make the contact?
Are you worried you're going to prison?
You worried you're going to prison, Sam Bankman-Fried? Yes, that's right. So according to the news, only the campaign finance charges have been dropped. So he's not going to fight. He's still facing the fraud charges, But the campaign finance charge, that was not going through anymore. Think about that. So just, it's a win for him, but it's not the big, massive win that everybody's like actually looking for, because he's no longer going to be facing that one campaign finance charge at the criminal trial in October. But the decision was cited by Bahamian authorities to reject a count of the indictment that was not listed on the warrants against him because he was extradited to the United States. Prosecutors told the U.S. judge, Louis A. Kaplan, in a letter that the government in the Bahamas notified it on Wednesday that the authorities there did not consider the charge to be included in the Bankman-Fried extradition. Thus, the prosecutors wrote that they would not pursue it at trial in keeping with the treaty obligations with the Bahamas. So the entire situation of that one campaign finance charge being dropped is because it wasn't included in his extradition, and there is a treaty between the Bahamas and the United States that says that we can only charge the individuals with the stuff that was in the extradition request. They can't add stuff after the fact. Seemingly very interesting if you understand anything about the Julian Assange case. Well, the United States did the same thing to him, except for, unfortunately, since he's not in the Bahamas, they don't have the same treaty, and the United States can get the extradition request and then just throw on 1,000 charges afterwards, which is super fucked up. But that's how the United States government gets you. That's why the only way to beat them is to have every single one of their passwords and access to all their information, to the point where if your heart ever stopped or you ever got compromised in any way, all of that information would be released to the public, and then basically it'd be all over. Yeah. So just to point it out there, he is still going to go to trial. He's still getting charged with all the fraud stuff. It's just that one thing that had to get taken off, and it got taken off because of a technicality. Okay? A technicality. Motherfucker's still going to jail. Tell you what, he's still going to jail. Anyways, what's this? New U.S. military electromagnetic spectrum office launches from USS Stratcom, an outfit, Alpha a Joint Electromagnetic Operations Center, JEC, headquarters of the use of the electromagnetic spectrum across the world. The fuck?
Methodist Health System is proud to support the Salvation Army and 7 Can Help Kids Back to School program. Drop off new school supplies in the blue barrels at Methodist urgent care locations.
Okay.
For the nearest location, check the KETV app or ketv.com.
Force Space is now home to the U.S. military's electromagnetic spectrum operations.
We broke the story last night. The new office will be inside U.S. Strategic Command, which is responsible for America's nuclear triad.
KETV News Watch 7's Sean McKinnon is here with why the global electromagnetic spectrum race runs through Nebraska. Sean?
That's because U.S. Stratcom, right in Bellevue, has the existing resources and infrastructure to make it happen. The fight for electromagnetic dominance is a global one, and today the military takes action to make sure it belongs to the United States. Wednesday's standing up ceremony, unveiling the military's newest office, JEC, or Joint Electromagnetic Spectrum Operations Center.
I can think of no better team than U.S. Stratcom to take on this responsibility.
The JEC members are knowledgeable, poised, and ready.
The electromagnetic spectrum, or EMS, is behind technology used in every military branch. Navigation, missile threat warning, radio transmission, radar, and even cell phones all use it. JEC will lead the fight for EMS dominance over other global powers.
But conflict with China or Russia would be a different story. That operational space will likely be contested.
JEC's director, Brigadier General Anne Marie Anthony, says those powers made EMS gains since the Cold War.
And today, we are faced with adversaries that continue to increase capabilities well beyond what we faced over the past 30 years.
Congressman Don Bacon says other nations did have better EMS capabilities than the U.S.
2 decades later, it was clear to me and others that China and Russia were ahead of us and important aspects of electronic warfare.
But the JAC director and General Anthony Cotton say while adversaries were improving, our nation never fell behind.
To put the U.S. on a path to remain the dominant force within the EMS.
We have always maintained the military overmatch.
JEC will need new employees.
Interesting. Electromagnetic dominance, eh? That sounds really cool. Sounds like EMS technologies or electromagnetic frequency technologies are going to be bigger, but I guess they're trying to dominate the airwaves. Are they not? Interesting. Breaking. Cargo ship carrying electric vehicles is burning near Ameland in the Netherlands. Oh, cool. An uncontrollable fire burning after a major fire erupted on board a vessel carrying about 3,000 vehicles, including 25 EVs, from Bremerhaven, Germany, to a port in Egypt. Oh, yeah, that sucks. They're not going to be able to put that shit out. That thing's going to be burning for a while. The Fremantle Highway is apparently the name of the ship that is currently burning on the inside. Kind of reminds me of the big ass ship that the fucking smokers are riding around in Waterworld or whatever. Remember that show, Waterworld? Waterworld. Fact box. Chinese business tycoon executives who disappear from public view. Fan Bao. Huh, what is that? What was this all about? Biden family cover-up. In a transcript for Hunter Biden's pre-agreement hearing, Hunter Biden admits that CCP-linked CEFC chairman Yi Jinping was his business partner. All right, the fourth paragraph says, during the calendar year of 2017, you earned substantial income, including just under $1 million from a company you formed with the CEO of a Chinese business conglomerate. Is that the same or different Chinese company from the one you referenced earlier? I started a company called Hudson West, Your Honor. My partner was associated with a Chinese energy company called CEFC. The court. Who was your partner? The defendant. I don't know how to spell his name. Yi Jinping is the chairman of that company. Is that company still in existence? Yi Jinping. Yi Jinping. Wow, that name kind of does sound a little bit familiar. Oh, wait. In late March of 2018, Yi Jinping, CEFC, China Energy, the former chairman of the once high-flying conglomerate CEFC China Energy, disappeared from public view in March of 2018. A source familiar with the matter told Reuters at the time that he was taken into questioning. Shares and bonds related to the CEFC China Energy plummeted on the news, which was first reported by the Chinese magazine Caxin. His whereabouts have not been disclosed, although he has been named in graft trials of senior communist officials and state bank executives. So I guess we're not going to really be seeing anything coming out from that homeboy, are we? Yeah, I don't think so. No. Nope. Looks like that guy's going to be dead. Anyways, somebody sent me this video from Anton Petrov that says, if this superconductor is real, it's a Nobel Prize. But yes, a Korean team has claimed to have created the first room temperature ambient pressure superconductor, which, if this is real, that just means that our energy independence is more than just 100% a fact. Meaning that in the near future, we're not even going to need to worry about electricity or gas power. And if everything went electric, we'd probably be all right. But yes, a team of scientists affiliated with several institutions in South Korea are claiming to have created the elusive room temperature ambient pressure superconducting material. And their work hasn't been peer reviewed, but they've already posted 2 papers on a preprint server, and the scientists have been trying to find a material that would conduct electricity without resistance, And a discovery of a material such as this would basically revolutionize the electricity business, because it would mean that electricity would no longer be lost to heat dissipation as it moves along power lines, and we could revolutionize the electronics business because engineers would no longer have to worry about heat dissipation causing problems in devices, which is pretty much a amazing thing. If you could superconduct at room temperature, you could do a whole lot of things that's there. So it's supposed to be pretty sexy, but the overall thought from a lot of us here is that it doesn't seem to be what they're claiming it to be. It looks like it's a dipole material, but I guess we're just never going to be able to figure out what it is. If we go to this video that's actually putting out in here, he actually discusses that it might be data that is manipulated. But here's the new papers.
That seems to contain linorkite, copper, lead, phosphorus, and oxygen, that then starts doing this. It starts to levitate in what seems to be room temperature and room pressure. Okay, I think it's better if I just show you the video. I mean, this kind of looks like it's levitating, not fully, but at least partially, which in this case the research team explains as slight imperfections inside this material, possibly from some kind of a contamination, but the way that it looks so far, I mean, it technically does resemble a room temperature, room pressure superconductor. Kind of.
Yeah. So basically, for magnetic levitation to be a thing, and they've had to super cool magnets in order, or different types of materials in order for it to happen. But you have seen magnetic levitation before, right? Like, so yeah, this is what they're kind of like talking about, basically, is magnetic levitation, maglev, magnetic suspension when an object is suspended and no longer supports other gravitational fields, or isn't affected by the gravitational field. So there's a lot of different ways that people can do it, but they've actually been able to create superconductors levitating on permanent magnets. The only thing is that the magnets have to be super cooled in order for this to basically be a process. And now what they're talking about is that they're having to take away the cooled function. So if you don't have to make it super cold and it can be done at room temperature, that basically means motherfuckers are going to have flying cars, hoverboards, and a whole host of other things. But for a lot of people looking into it, they're basically saying that it's probably not what they're claiming it to be.
Sort of. And I mean, I might sound hesitant because I really am. Remember, here we went from really complex superconductors that seem to acquire these properties when you cool them down to very cold temperatures, to then a story of 2 papers in Nature magazine that had to be retracted because of fake data on this topic. And now, suddenly, out of pretty much nowhere, we get this. I mean, yeah, if this is true, then this is basically a discovery of a century. We might have just discovered a material that will solve so many problems. I will talk more about these problems, once again, as I said, if this is proven to be correct. But is this...
Yeah. So, it's really scary, man. Like, that if this is actually a thing, and there are links all over the places that are actually put out there from each of these individuals, like hardware, everything, but overboard, here's the actual links to the superconductors that he had posted. And it seems to be a pretty big thing. Stanford Board of Trustees talking about all these different special things. Harvard expert on dishonesty who's accused of lying. Superconductor, POHO showing levitation at room temperature and atmospheric pressure mechanisms. Here's the actual papers that are talking about it. And one thing, like Riggs is saying, is that a bunch of senior high-up teaching officials got fired and resigned because they said that they were faking data. And all of a sudden, now all those people that were fired, we all of a sudden get new data that's coming out that seems to be, I don't know, maybe fake, maybe showing that it could be a possibility of some type of superconducting system, but in actuality, it's more of like a dielectric, diamagnetic type system. and it's not actually what they're talking about. So it's going to be really hard to replicate the data, but it's happening right now. And I think a lot of folks are going to be on there, because if this is a real thing, we just changed everything. Like literally. That means that you're going to have a hoverboard, and it's going to be super cheap to just make this material, put it on the bottom of a board, and then you'll be able to hover around. That's what we're talking about here. That means that picking things up that weigh hundreds of thousands of tons just got a whole lot easier, guys. That means that if we wanted to build a pyramid like they did back in the day, it would all of a sudden become a whole hell of a lot fucking easier. Think about that. It's really, really just changing everything. But we don't know if it's actually going to be kind of real. It could just be a fucking psyop. Right? That's what it could be. It's just a fucking psyop. But yeah, record high 36K transition temperature for superconducting state and elemental SCAD-EM pressure at 260 GPa, which is basically what these guys are talking about. So I'll have to look into this a lot deeper to see if I can actually figure this out. But I don't even have a fucking lab, and I don't even know. I mean, I could probably order all this stuff to do this, but it would cost me a couple of $1,000 just to recreate the lab setting in order to actually vacuum tube the crystal in order to make this thing in the first place. But you can kind of see what they did here, right? Like, it's hard to... So you can see that they put everything in the tube, created the chemical change, did another chemical change, and then broke it. And out of all of that chemical change, they only had a teeny tiny amount. Whatever that teeny tiny amount of stuff that they got that was created out of that mixture seems to be the stuff that's going to, I don't know, change the future. But it's so simple, like what they've set up here, that, I mean, if this is real, this is something that could have technically have been done a long time ago with primitive tools, right? You would have just had to have known what materials to mix together. And then once you had all those materials mixed together, you could basically do whatever you wanted. I don't know, man. Seems pretty crazy, dude. I haven't been looking into that stuff a lot, but people are also saying that the weaponized superconductor thing has brought in some crazy anon accounts. Wouldn't a diamagnetic material do what you see in the video? Not normally, no. Yes, normally, yes. Show me one video of this happening to a sample without a Hallbach array. Completely different effect. It is in the original video. They show how it retains its orientation while being turned around, moved around, etc. This just shows carefully balanced diamagnetism. Theirs was far more robust. Cope, show me a video of this actually happening. You showed me a balanced magnet at one point, not what they demonstrated. Pay attention. Assuming a similar magnetic field strengths, that's 1-2 nanometer or millimeters of levitation for PG versus less than 10 millimeters of levitation in the video. If this is a simple diamagnet, it seems to be much more diamagnetic than any known substance. Yeah, it's just kind of crazy, dude. Don't understand. But probably the more coolest thing that I've seen today. This is a guy named Simon2940, aka the Stupid Scientist, and he did a pretty good time lapse of the sun, an active region viewed from the southwestern limb. Huge solar prominences litter the sun, some as big as Jupiter, roughly the size of Earth, and it was captured with a Lunt 152 True Doppler Solar Telescope. So, you know, if you've ever wanted to know what the surface of the sun looks like, well, that's what it fucking looks like. So if you really want to go to fucking hell, that's what, I guess, hell would be like. That shit's fucking hot. And all those little things that are wisping off of it are the plasmas from the sun's outer mass that are ejecting and reforming and crashing into itself. Look at all that. There's hundreds of tweets about it. I don't know. Quite the morning in the sun, solar prominences. Look at all these things. I just like them. I don't know why. I just like them. It's better looking at that than Dominic McGee shit. I guess to end it off today, we got ourselves an 11/11 message for you guys. This one's out of Alabama in the US of A on February 17th of 2014, which would have, which is kind of funny. And this is again from our teacher, the Thought Adjuster, and it's a subject on human beings received by a dude named Oscar. Thanks, Oscar. Thought Adjuster, our responsibility for what happens on the planet rests firmly upon your shoulders. Human beings often blame external agents for the miseries they suffer. They complain about the education offered in schools, the low quality of public services, the inefficiency of government agencies, and the incompetence of governments. Now I ask you, what is the common factor in all these things? Human beings are the common factor of everything that happens in this world. The schools, organizations, and governments are confirmed by human beings. It is human beings who perform the task and decides the functions of each agency should accomplish in your civilization. This may seem obvious, but it seems to be the first thing you forget when you think about changing things. If you want something to improve, will you focus on changing its infrastructure? Will you change the organizational schemes? Will you create new regulations and laws? Will you invent new technologies or machinery? None of these things will produce a permanent impact nor contribute to solving any problems unless you first focus on the most important element in every organization: human beings. It is in human beings where all the reforms and all the attempts to improve the situation of this world should focus. The system of governments of the nation is almost irrelevant. A firmly established democracy filled with people who seek only their own benefit and the benefit of those who support them is much less effective than an empire where the emperor and his subjects or her advisors have firm and honest intention of lovingly serving their subjects. The vast majority of problems in this world are caused by human beings. This world will only change and improve when human beings change and improve. This change can only occur when each and every one of you decides to be the best you can aspire to be and strive to reach perfection with the help of the inner teacher, the presence of God within each of you. Those who manage to gain dominion over their self and take control of their life and destiny will have taken a great step towards improving the entire world. It is in the spiritual progress of human beings that the key of restoring this world to a normal path of other worlds and creation can be attained. Each one of you has the power and the responsibility to change. Each one of you should take charge of your own spiritual growth. This is your mission. And when you look back at your mortal life and ask yourselves what you did to bring your world closer to what the Father wanted to express with its existence, you will be able to answer with total certainty and conviction that you truly did all you could, living life free of regrets. Yep. Can't change the world, man. We got to fix the people. You got to fix the humans first because, we're the ones in control of all this shit. Until we fix the people, we ain't ever going to be fixing this shit. And I guess with that, we're done for today. Thank you for joining us or whatever. I'm going to go eat some ribs or some shit right now. Oh, shit. Speaking of ribs, actually, I made some ribs today. I forgot to show you or whatever. Been working on them. We smoked some of them ribs today, but they extra juicy. Look at all the juice. Look at the juice. Look at the juice. Look at that juice. Hey, wasn't one of these supposed to be a video? Right.
Let's see. Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, look at the juice. Look at the juice.
Let's see. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Looks good. All right, now we can go. Yeah, we made some pretty good shit looking like today. Think I got it down to the point where, you know, it's like you squeeze it and it's just like super juicy. That's what I'm talking about. So, yeah, bye. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share us with your friends, throw us a follow, whatever. We'll see you again on the next one. Adios, my friends, and have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye now. See you later. Peace and chicken grease.